All right, I remember looking at this. Anything you would like to say before I watch?
I must say that I spend a lot of time working on it. I try to add your notes and try to put a little bit of expression. I think that adds a little bit to the shot. I fall in love again with the shot.
Awesome. Hey, that's good to hear. Great. All right, so let's look at it and let's see where you're at.
What have you been doing all these years?
Well, after the hand, I drinking. Yeah, a lot of drinking.
It looks great, man. I can see a lot of the changes. You really snapped the beginning part, which is great.
What have you been doing all these years?
There, it's great. It's definitely a lot stronger. So I like that he looks all the way to the left, obviously because the guy's next to him. And then when he goes here, he almost goes to center. I would love to, again, play the contrast and the comedy and have him look a little bit more right. So it's a lot more opposite. And you can still have the dart that you have. And I love that dart. That's 1 and then 2. You have a nice little settle there. So you can keep that. The other thing as well, I actually wouldn't close his eyes all the way for the antic. Reason why is because the more antic you have, the more you expect something that's going to happen. And when you get shocked and you want the audience to not expect it, you just almost want to go right to the pose because you're shocked. So there's no time for the antic. There's no time to blink before I open my eyes wide. So you have the eye looking, it starts closing, but you still see the white, and then it pops open, and then it relaxes. So then it'll be a little bit less. So this will be the overshoot here, and then this is the antic. So this is the starting pose that you have here. Try this. This will be the most that it closes. So it doesn't close all the way. And then have the eyes just pop open even faster. Almost twice as fast as what you have. This is going to create more contrast. And I love the overlap that we talked about. You have the face go into that thinking mode, that feeling, and then his body kind of goes into it. So it's great. Here, maybe have his elbows go out with the shoulders. You know, so when the shoulders do this, the elbow goes out like, because it's a squash and it's a squash pose, you're squashing that. You want everything to kind of go wide. Everything's going to go out. And right now, if you look at the elbow, it just goes in. So just put that elbow out and you'll really feel that squash in the body. It's a small little thing, but it really adds a lot. And now that you're going into the details, it would be great if you add rotation on the head. I feel like now, because you have the head and the body working, and it's working great, now you can add some tilt and some rotation. Because right now, the head just stays perfectly to camera. So when he goes, maybe have him go into his body. So instead of going like this, he goes, and I'm exaggerating right now so you can really see the rotation. But I just want to see some, and you know, almost like searching, like, I don't know. And because when you tilt, you're kind of confused, you're kind of searching, you're uneasy about something. I would tilt the head this way and then rotate it this way. So it would look, and again, I might be exaggerating it just a bit, and his head enlarged as well. But see, it's tilting this way and it's also rotating that way. The reason why it's better to go that way, it's because, well, you're coming from looking at this section. So the guy asks him something that he's not comfortable about asking, so you're kind of, maybe subliminally his reaction is going to look away like, oh, what do I tell him? You know, it's that kind of feel. And then afterwards, then he chooses to go back and look at him. So that tiny little rotation that you're going to add there, you want to add it away from him. And it's going to add the feeling that you want in there, which is the, I don't know how to answer this. And, you know, so add a little tilt, rotation away from him.
After the hand.
I'm just looking at the thinking in the eyes. The eyes move slightly here. The eyes close, they open, and then the eyes move again. So they move before the blink and after the blink. And then they keep moving. So I feel like you can simplify that. You know, maybe go to this pose. See how the eyes dart down? Maybe make that stronger and earlier as well. So as he's going down, have the eyes have that feeling of 100-yard stare type thing. So it's almost like he's looking down and almost in front of him. Not too much, but it's just pushing this eye pose, this one. And then after it moves here, You can keep this a little longer as well, so you're going to shift everything. And then it can go to here as he's moving away from him. There as well, as the weight is going into it, I feel like there's too much movement of the hand. I would like for you to simplify it. Maybe rotate it more this way, because right now I get 3 different lines. And how about we simplify it so it's this? Maybe have the elbow go in more, and then have the hand just out just a tiny bit. That way it's a little bit straighter. Not too straight, obviously, but it feels a little uncomfortable. Have this shoulder, when it goes up, just have it maybe a frame sooner or 2 frames. I want to see this shoulder move before this one. That way everything flows from this to then this to then this and then this. It will be a nice little flow that you add to it. So right now, just make that shoulder go up sooner than what you have it. Okay, and then the last thing that I'll say is I like that he's natural with his eyes, and then he opens his eyes here, and then he goes into relax because he's not sure what to say. Here, when he says the hand, and he opens his eyes there, I think you can open them wider on the lids. So you're creating contrast. So the beginning's relaxed, he opens wide, then he starts thinking, then he kind of closes, and then after the hand, and he's thinking, so the eyes go wider. And then he goes, and then he closes up again. And then maybe don't open them so much here. Maybe just relax it just a little bit, because I feel that at the end he opens up wide. Maybe too much. Actually, you know, it'd be great if he does this, and then he closes the eyes and keeps drinking. So it's almost like he does drinking. Lots and lots of drinking. It's almost like he just wants to forget about everything, and the only way he can do it is by drinking, you know, because that's what he's doing. And that's what he's talking about, drinking. Lots and lots of drinking. So here, to me, he just relaxes and deflates, and nothing adds to it. So to end on a note, he can look this way, and then he goes down a bit. He closes his eyes. He still has a sad, but maybe all the brows come down, but still has that sad in his face. And you can hunch him over as well and tilt his head up this way. You can kind of see more of like a miserable guy that he just wants to erase everything by drinking. It looks really, really great. I love the changes that you did. And if you want to come back next week, I would love to see it again. So awesome work.